All right, well, all right. Every time I say that, all right, I always feel like Matthew McConaughey, but I gotta, I better get over it. Because I'm glad you guys are here. This is Khaliq Glover, and I'm here with my boys and from Pensado students and other students from all over the world. No matter how you're trying to learn, this is the place you want to be to go ahead and hang out with us and toss back and forth ideas about how to become a better musician, engineer, producer, whatever it is you're looking to do. We've got a just a treasure trove of people that have ideas and solutions for you, and just general vibe. If you need some vibe to crank it up and everything, give you some new ideas. I love doing this, and we've been doing this now for a pretty good while. Got a pretty good role here. Wonderful, very intelligent and talented people on here. So you want to be here. You're in the right place. If you think we're just messing around, no, we aren't. People are working at all different levels, from the highest to entry level. So it's a little bit for everybody, because the bottom line is we all learn from each other. If you're just getting started, don't think that it's too much for you to be part of this, because it isn't. Because we will pull you along faster. It will accelerate what you're trying to do, even if you don't understand some of the things you got. If you're super advanced or whatever, we also bring it all back, because, I've been doing this for over 30 years now, but I always have to remember to come back. It's just like anything else, on a sports team or anything like that. Championships are won on the fundamentals. And sometimes we have to remember that this is what you start from, and then you do the fancy stuff. So this is always a good exercise for me and Dave and some of the other people here that have been doing it for a long time, as well as starting you guys off on the right foot. So I want to welcome you guys today. I wanted to talk about, later on, we're going to have Maad Hotep and some of his crew is going to come in here. They want to play some songs. We got some other people on here, and anybody that wants to come in and maybe talk about something they're working on. We're going to go ahead and give you a chance to be able to, you can send it in to me, or if you know how to do it, you're set up to play it yourself. Play some stuff for us. Let's hear what you're doing, and let's toss it around and see how we can help you elevate what you're doing. I want to see everybody go out there and get, some kind of hit record, or get, a job with their dream client and artist that they want to work with, publishing deals. I would love to see for it all to happen, because I remember there was a time when everybody told me getting a Grammy is like, yeah, right, Khaliq, get it, and it always seems so far away, and then you never know when you put yourself in the right situations and you prepare and you're ready. Preparation has gotten me in many doors and kept me in many open doors. And it always usually came from just talking with other people and finding out what did I need to fill in the missing blanks in whatever I was trying to do. So this is what we want to do for you. This is what I want for you, and see you get there faster rather than slower. See you have a, it's not an easy road, so I can't really say easier, but slightly less bumpy than I had to go through. I took the scrapes on the on the elbows, knees is all scraped up, got a couple gashes and bumps on my head, but I took them for you. Dave took a lot for you. Bill is in the trenches taking them for you, and all of us on here are taking them so that the next generation can go to that next level. So with that, I want to welcome you. Today we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to study some songs and solving some problems, creative problem solving and things like that as well too. I want to say hi to everybody that's here so far, and what's going on. We got, who wants to talk first? Just go ahead, some folks jump on in, because, this is how we do. This is family.
Yeah,
You
I'm
there?
Don. Hey, hello.
What's up,
What's up?
man?
What's going on?
All
Yeah,
right.
don't everybody speak at once, right?
Right, right.
I think that's what Dave said.
Yeah, exactly. No, no, that's cool, man. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing great. How's your holiday? How's everything
Man,
going?
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Also I meant to tell you, tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm gonna,
Uh-oh. Happy
yeah. So,
birthday.
so thank you so much. I'm just glad to make another one. Every
That's
time they
it.
come.
Hey.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's the thing. Just trying to deal with all the good stuff that's happening, and you know, slay the dragons that keep coming out of the woodwork as well. So yeah, everything's good.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And who else we got on here? You guys come on and introduce yourself because everybody may not know, even though we know. Come on in, make yourself known.
Well, what's up, everybody? Jay Brown over here in Atlanta. Freelance mixer, engineer, teacher. Um, hey, just coming to hang out on a Sunday afternoon with everybody and see what new information is out there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Jason is he's just an excellent guy, very talented, excellent educator as well, and very talented engineer, producer, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the man does it all. So, you know, he's gonna be supplying, you know, because we all bounce off each other. So he comes in with a lot of great stuff that you know, keep your ears open. And anybody that's coming in and maybe if this is your first time joining us, you know, grab a pencil or an ink pen and something to write on, you know, a pad or something like that, because we drop the nuggets. This is kind of free flow here, so we never know what's going to come out, but they come and they come heavy. So you know, do that. All right, all right. And
what's up, y'all?
got Dave. What's
Hey.
up, Dave?
Dave, what's happening?
All right.
Dave,
Come on, man. Don't do the old shy thing, you know, because we got new folks to be checking it out, you know.
yeah.
Who is this?
Producer, engineer, studio designer, author, educator.
All right.
Out
Straight
here.
and concise and to the point. A man of little words, but great action.
That's it. That's it.
All right, right.
Well of information, I've been told.
Absolutely. And
Hey, how's everyone going? This is Hugh down here in Atlanta.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, gentlemen? Engineer, producer, just trying to get my feet wet out here. Very blessed, man. Lately, I've been given some great opportunities, so just trying to, you know, put in this work down here, you know, and get in the trenches.
oh,
It's
cool.
good.
Good deal. Let's hear about the opportunities.
I said last month I got a chance to work on a folk EP. I think Bill, me and you were kind of talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a week-long project. It was fun to do that, live instrumentation, upright bass, upright piano, live drums. We tracked every instrument live, even the vocals. It was done within a week's time.
Sweet.
And from that opportunity, I got blessed last Wednesday to actually engineer on somebody's project with the producer that I was working with. So I'm steady working and trying to work hard down here, you know.
Oh, that's cool, man. How did you like doing some of those live instruments? And why don't you share with some folks what you used and, you know, any problems you may have faced or challenges or whatever, and let's talk about that a bit.
Well, I liked it because I'm actually a drummer naturally. I grew up playing the drums in church, and I've been playing all my life. And some of the things that we experienced, which was good, is it's really all about the musicians and recording it right. You don't have to go in and do a lot of work afterwards. I'm about to pull up my cheat sheet so I can kind of give some notes on some of the mics we use and some of the different setups we use. Like on the guitar, on acoustic guitar, we used, you know, two U87. They were stacked. I have never seen this before. They were stacked like on top of each other in like a 90-degree angle, and doing that, it sounded great. We had this old 1940s Altec 639 vintage ribbon mic.
You had wow, those are sweet.
Yeah. The sound. It was a folk album. So the sound that we were going for, it actually
You can't talk while I'm on this. You can look at it.
it actually helped that sound that we were looking for. So I actually got a chance to. That was for vocals. For some of the vocals, we used a Newman M49. We kind of stacked those. We used two of them. Then also, whenever we recorded things, we also had like a room mic as well. So it was fun to kind of experience using the various mics on the different recordings.
Sweet,
But
sweet. What kind of preamps did you use with them?
we used some tube techs. It was they sound pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, the engineer, he has some like something he's working on himself. Can't go more into detail because he's trying to do a little design on his own. But he had his own preamps that he made that he's working on trying to design. So he tested those out as well. They came out good. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right.
that's really it.
Yeah, cool, cool. And what was the result? What did you feel? How did you feel about the result after you got it?
Great, great sound. Great. I mean, it was on point. And again, when you have the right musicians, the vibe is there. We have fun. You know, the chemistry was there. You know, everybody. It felt like it reminded me that, you know, even though, you know, we're in this business, you know, it's business, but you gotta have a relationship with some of the people in order for everything to flow properly. You know, I can tell that the guys that were there, they're not even in the same band, but they record on the same record. This is the second time they've done this recording, but just so happened they hang out a lot, or one guy was from London, the guy that played the upright piano. I mean, it's just the chemistry was there. They know each other. You know, you got to have that fun when you're doing things, even from engineering to producer. You know, you got to be able to build a relationship with people. So that taught me a big lesson for that project to flow that quickly.
Now that's an interesting subject too. It's something and I'm gonna toss it over to Dave because he and I experienced that a lot. But I'm gonna ask you what you observed. Who was the vibe master there? You know, because the best sessions always go when the vibe is set up right, and there's always one person that takes the point on that, and it makes it flow where the vibe is just right and the energy goes to the right level before you get started. So who would you say, or what did you notice about how it came together and how they made that happen?
The producer, I would say the producer, because he does mixing himself, but it was mainly the producer. He brought that glue together with everyone that's there. I mean, some of the guys, they're very, you know, nominated, won. I mean, but the producer made jokes, but then he said, "Hey guys, come on, let's go, let's finish working." But he kept everything going by jokes and kind of, you know, being serious at the same time. But I would say the producer was the person that kept it going.
Did he have could you tell that he had, even though maybe you might not have been able to formally tell that he had a plan, could you kind of tell that, okay, this seems loose, but it really isn't loose? Was it kind of like that?
Oh yeah, he had a plan. Yeah,
that's
he
what I
kept.
suspect.
Yeah, he had a spreadsheet on his phone, and he kept it going. So yeah, he had a plan to do things a certain way, and that's how it worked, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I would say, yeah, the producer definitely was part of that glue. Was a strong bond of that glue.
Cool, cool. What did you learn from checking out what he did and how he approached things?
The whole, what I was saying about relationship and being able to talk to people and pull their emotions out, even from the vocalist to the guitar player, just find out their groove. And once they're in that groove, hey, some guys say, hey, I don't need a break. You know, he know, hey, they really don't need a break because let's just run the recording because they no telling what we're gonna get. Because on a lot of the takes, we got stuff that wasn't even playing. Like the first takes were things that, wow, we can use this, we can comp this, you know, we can do this, put it at the intro. I mean, it was just playing, just play freestyle, you know. So we had a chance to do that, man, and work on that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Did you get a chance to put your musician skills into play too?
I did. They found out that I play drums, so I got on the record. You know,
how cool was that? Yeah,
it was fun to do that. You know, they was like, man, why you didn't tell us? But the drummer that y'all had, I mean, I didn't have to say anything. That guy was in there for 10 hours, you know, like nonstop. He's a session drummer. You know, I can't, you know, like I just, you know, your role. You know, you stay in your lane.
Yeah,
know?
right.
But then they started asking me, because another thing that I did learn while in there, those guys were asking my opinion. Like they wasn't looking down like, oh yeah, nah, you know, you're no one. No, what you think about this? What do you think about this word? What do you think about this sound, this vibe?
Yeah.
So that was cool. I like that.
That's cool, man.
That's what allowed me to work with them last week with that producer, because of I can give feedback, and he actually know what I'm hearing something. I feel something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good, man. Congratulations. That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, and it actually the connect came from Bill, slowly. He didn't really know, but what he made, but how it happened, he's way in New York. He's like, hey, there's something going on in Atlanta. It was like 2 months ago.
Uh-huh.
And it connected me to that situation. So that was good.
Oh, that's cool,
That's
man.
what's up. Worldwide connections. You know how we do.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I love this, man. I mean, isn't that just amazing that from talking to somebody that's you don't have to have them like right in your face in your neighborhood or anything like that. Something gets mentioned and it could do something. You never know in the future that could be something that changes your life.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Dave, I wanted to swing it over to you real quick because we've seen that many times too. The vibe is so important to make things go. And go ahead.
Yeah, and especially it's a great thing for him to experience that starting point. People come in the studio, they want to build trust, and if they see you're listening and they see you pay attention, and the musicians, they have trust in you. It's always the basis of a great start. Even if the producer knows how to engineer, well, sometimes when a producer's playing the producer role, he doesn't want to engineer. And so it's about getting somebody else he can trust to do the things he knows how to do because he's trying to move up the rung. And so I think it's just a great sitting in the seat, being the man next to the man is probably the most underrated position that there is that nobody brings attention to, but especially for some of us, it's the one seat that has given us the opportunity to go and be in a lot of situations because everybody wants to be the shot caller, but you don't realize how much the shot caller relies on the guy next to him to pay attention and catch the things he missed. And the other thing is, when you're learning your situation, you also learn your producer and learn the things they listen to. Just learn how they hear music. I know Khaliq and I we study, so sometimes we would get assignments to work with different people, and part of the homework we did was to listen to their entire back catalog of what they produced, to hear certain things and nuances so that when we're in the room, we're like familiar with what the cues are, what do they listen to, what is their little thing that they do, and you start to notice those things. But that's a great position to be in, and I would say just ride it till the wheels fall off, because most people aren't really going to know what to do. They're going to wait, and they'll take a situation like that and they'll just wait for somebody to just tell them every move. A lot of it is on you just to become who you're supposed to become. And that's half the battle too, especially if you know the room. Do you work at that studio a lot where you're working?
No, now I think it seemed like now I will be because of vibe. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the place, the location, I mean, it's they've done a lot there, and for me to come in and do this type of work, and they have assistants, and it was like you're assistant, but you're gonna have an intern. Like, wow, experience that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
That's good. That's good. Who's the producer, if you don't mind me asking?
Simon Illa. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool. Now we have a friend of ours that just moved back to Atlanta, Neil Pogue, and Neil is a great engineer producer, but he just moved back to the Atlanta area. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's good, man. Congratulations on that, and much more success, because that's just a big part of dealing with stuff like that. One thing leads to another, and it was very important because, trust me, when the guys were kind of asking you what was going on and your opinion and everything, that's the little litmus test that's going on in real time to just see who are we really surrounded with, and you never would have ended up playing on it and everything if you hadn't been passing all those tests with flying colors.
Oh, definitely, because I've been in, actually been in some of the mixing sessions as well, just going in and listening. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this feel, this sound? And that's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Cool.
And
Yep.
also another 2 cents on what you said. You're absolutely right. This whole thing is a network of relationships. That's what the business is based on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's lots of people that play drums, lots of people that do all this other stuff. It all comes down to whether people want to see you at the end of the day, or it comes down to whether people want to reach out to you and say, hey, you and you should get together because y'all are both cool people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
That's a big deal, man. It
Yeah.
really is. Well, see, this is the other thing too. When Bill and I were talking, and he tells me his vision for what he does here in Pensado students and the different people that support what's going on with that vision and everything, and the community that we all have here. It's a thing of giving and spreading that if we all just keep that spirit and nobody starts tripping and or hoarding, because that's the other thing. There's a lot of people that get into the hoard mentality and start getting into this scarcity mentality that like there's not enough work out there, so if I get something, I gotta keep all these things to me. I'm so glad that we don't do this because there really is no such thing. I don't believe in scarcity, man. I mean, now I won't say things have been scarce, of course, they always go. That's how life goes. You get some, you give some, it takes some, whatever comes in and goes out. Things aren't meant to stay still. But the bottom line is that information is definitely meant to move and flow from one person to the other. This is based on relationships, and like Bill was saying, that's the important thing, and that's really his mission that he started out trying to help push with this group, and everybody else is doing it, and we're all doing it. And we keep that spirit. It's going to be great. And who else we got? We got William on here. What's up, man? Is your mic on?
It is now.
Okay.
No, what's going on, man? How you doing? How's everybody in here?
Hey, we doing great, bro. How
Good.
about yourself?
Oh, nothing, man. I'm just sitting there learning different techniques of mixing and stuff like that. Downloaded some stuff off of Cambridge just to learn how to mix certain genres and see how everything is. Just
Cool.
trying to keep on the up and up, mess with certain EQs and certain like choruses to see what I can make different and go outside of the norm with them and
Oh, cool.
try to make them sound good. So it's all
Now,
I'm.
what track on Cambridge are you messing with that you maybe found a real cool technique or something that sparked you to a real great creative solution?
I forgot the singer of it, but it's a Christmas song. It's Sleigh Bells, and I used nothing but Abbey Road plugins on there. So I just wanted to test myself, see if I can get a good sound just using nothing but Abbey Road plugins.
And give us a for instance, like what we're using the Abbey Road plugins for.
Oh, just for EQ, just to give a little bit of that distortion. To try to get more of the older sound, like the older sound in music in with it, even though it was a modern track. 'Cause I'm a huge fan of the old sound music, like from the 50s up, like 50s
Yeah.
and earlier. I love that sound. It's just raw and in your face and it's just beautiful. It's
Yeah.
all beautiful, so that's why I was trying to go for it. I don't think I came close yet, but I'm working at it. So,
Okay. Yeah. What
so
what Abbey Road plugin do you like in particular out of their bundle? Which one stands out as like your go-to one? Is like, yeah, I know I got to use that one.
well, it's not really they're not really. I'll be honest, it's not really a go-to for me. For the fact I haven't recorded much rock bands at all. But it's the ADT one.
Uh huh.
I like
Okay.
that one a lot just for the fact this is for the effects I get it, and if I use it on hip hop vocals, which I normally record and I get sessions sent to me, I use it on their ad libs character. So
Cool.
it'll be like a ghost underlay to them. So
That's cool. Yeah.
or
See,
I
that's
might
part of developing a signature sound for yourself.
yep. And I use it on a reverb channel every once in a while too, like for a guitar. Like I
Hmm.
did some buddies of mine. I had him send me a song because he didn't like the beat that he did. I said, well, just send me the song that you did. Let me know the BPM. He let me know the BPM after he sent me all of his files. I just made a beat around it, and underneath the guitar, I didn't like the way it sounded. So I was like, well, I can't get the right effect with the chorus effect, but I want a chorus effect on there.
Hmm.
So I sat there. I sat on for a couple of days, and I was messing with an ADT plugin. I said, yes. I put that on the reverb channel that I had for that guitar, and it came out wonderfully. At
Oh,
least for
cool.
my ears, anyways. I just gotta finish mixing it and send it off to him to get his approval.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Very
That's
cool,
what's
man.
up. Wasn't it you that was saying you're starting a commercial studio?
Yep, I actually got my list. I got my list right now. Joe out with it a lot. He's became more of my mentor, I guess. Far as
Joe who? Salyers?
yep, Joe. Yep,
Oh, cool.
yep. So he's been helping me out a lot. Me and him actually did 3 templates for my Logic, which they mimic an MCI console, a Neve console, and an SSL G Plus console. So he helped me out with that, mimicking them. So that was good for me. But I'm making a hybrid studio actually because I love the sound of analog so much. You know, my dad had an 88R board growing up, and he
Oh,
won't let me
wow.
have
Sweet.
that, so I gotta save up for one.
Whoop.
That's
Man.
what I'm doing. And I just got only thing I really got that's far that I really love that's gonna be in the studio is I bought the AFX. I'm buying the AFX 500 rack. I'm buying that and I'm putting nothing but Neve preamps in it and Neve stuff. 'Cause I love the sound of Neve, so that's what I've been doing.
Oh,
Like
cool, man.
pricing
Cool.
food
Very
out,
good.
trying to get this and that. So and
Man,
learn.
it was funny that you mentioned Joe too, because the other day when we were doing the other hangout, um it's the right thing, and people can clearly hear it because when he showed us a difference of some things that he ran through analog path, and we'd been listening to digital, it was a clear difference. So it's like like I said, when you have a hybrid studio that uses the best of both worlds, you really can get something that has great contrast in your tonal palette. Because no one is any. I don't. I'm not one of those guys that believes that all analog or all digital is the answer either, because that's one sound, but it doesn't work for every single thing
Not at
necessarily
all.
better. So a hybrid approach is the perfect way to go.
Yep, and I've been wanting to do that since I started. I saw back when Acid Pro 7.0, my buddy had that, and he was showing me how to do that. He just had a little Mackie board, and he had no rack effects, but he was going mixed in, like already, but then he was sitting with EQs inside of Acid Pro, making it sound better. And I looked at it, and I was like, "This is totally different from what my dad does at all." But my dad
Yeah.
wanted a tape machine, lined them up on the tape machine, and he's plugging everything in, trying to get it to sound right. I'm watching him just sit on his computer, and I'm like, hmm. So I figured, why not add them together? I love turning knobs and all that stuff, so why
Oh,
not
cool.
have both?
Hey man, do you have any stuff that you can play or anything, or you want to? You got anything on SoundCloud or anything? You can pop a link into the
Uh,
chat box.
Not finished. I'll say not of my newer mixes because my older mixes they aren't as clean as my newer ones now. I'm not
Hmm.
embarrassed by them, but they don't show my level of skill now.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
So, but I am doing that in Dabo one.
Yeah,
I
okay.
am doing that in Dabo contest. I'm remixing that song, so I'm happy go lucky with that one. That one, when it's done, I'll definitely share it in the room so everyone can hear it and give me their insight, and I can learn more.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
I
What's up?
definitely.
And we got Mod. You got on here. What's going on, bro?
A lot of sleeping in the studio is what's going on. Um, we just these brothers heard they said the 808 was not in key, or it wasn't an 80. It was that lower frequency that it was playing a melody, and they were saying it wasn't in key, and I'm bobbing my head to it like a hip hop head, loving it, and so they went and redid the whole thing because the 808 key 808 was not the low frequency sub whatever was not
Hmm.
in key. And I was looking at them crazy, but everybody was saying it except me, and I'm the worst
Hmm.
at hearing pitch. So we redid that song that I sent to you
Yeah.
by Joseph Calloway, well, us and Joseph Calloway. Dre the Most was, and they were standing up for it too hard, like for an 808 type, like man for real. And anyway. So we just got done with that. It's a different version than what we sent you, but all it is an 808 done different than any other. Did you change anything else, Dre?
808.
It sounds completely different to me because of that 808. It's
Hmm.
like the higher they pitched it up. They pitched the tones up, and it sounds different. There's frequencies that are just the frequency meshing together is just not the same. But they're loving it. I might just be biased because I like what I originally heard.
Right, yeah. It might take you a minute to get used to it.
Yeah, it might, but
But you know, here's what's interesting though. That's a good thing because you know, and this is where this is a good lesson for everybody to always remember. This is why we all have checks and balances. I know many times I would do stuff in the studio and make it technically correct. But at the end of the day, sometimes putting something in tune may strip away a little bit of the feeling. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, sometimes this is absolutely the perfect thing to do, and it can actually strengthen what's going on. But the key is to stay open. All of you stay open to the fact that you stay open to the fact, well, maybe I just got to get used to it. So let me just take a little more time, hear it a few more times, and then let it settle in. But they also will benefit from realizing that you were feeling something when it was at the lower thing, and did in the course of making it perfectly in tune, did we strip away some kind of low end thing that is the emotional weight down there, the thing that rubs your body, you know. Yeah. You want to make sure that doesn't get stripped out. And when you get the balance of both of them, because the other alternative is you said they pitched it up. They should, I think a good practice is to go and listen to both of them, one with the new version pitched up and then the next one, and then try to find stuff that's wrong with it. Okay, we already know that the one that was at the original pitch feels funny pitch-wise to all of us, but not Ma'at. But now we pitched it up and everything, and it sounds right. Let's be sure, does it still have that same thing that it had before we pitched it up? And if it doesn't, okay, the other thing that you can do is, instead of pitching it up, pitch it down to a harmonic. Maybe it started out on the fundamental pitch it down to a fifth or a fourth. Or yeah,
I'm one of the worst ones for hearing harmony. I'm actually or melody, and I'm actually hearing stuff now a bit. What I was thinking is, since it's a higher pitch, and it's mixing with the other frequencies, when we did it to a different sound. When the vocals were designed, they were designed to a different soup. Yeah. And so now that soup is different, we might need to go back and cut the vocals according to what we hear now in the music. But yeah, Dre's sitting back there going, like, oh.
Yeah, that's really not the answer, because see, the vocals are still the vocals are still pitches. So the pitch is the key of the song. So everything, what you're trying to do is make everything in harmonic, within the key of the song, including that 808. That has its own set of pitches. So the vocal's already in pitch. If you wrote the song around that and then everything else, then it's already in pitch. And if the performance is okay, then yeah, changing that is not the answer. It's definitely, if everything was working, and when you change the 808, if it got better in pitch, you just have to listen and be sure that, okay, it got better in pitch, but did it lose any oomph or something? Did it lose anything with us doing that? And then, you know, maybe go back, you know. And sometimes being out of key is okay too, you know. Like I said, you just got to be open to it, and you be open to that. Well, maybe I just got to get used to it. I got so used to hearing that, and I'm feeling something down there. But actually, if I give this a chance for a little bit and live with it for a bit, it feels okay there too. Leave that possibility open for yourself.
But you and I can agree that I'm never wrong, right?
Oh, oh man, you. Oh, shit, man.
And then he woke up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this brother, you said 70 what area code? 510 area code. So he's from the Bay, and he didn't move down here to work with us. Cool. He jumped on one of our. We put out a song, "That Girl" by Maya Moss, and next thing you know, we're hearing on KMEL a remixed version without us authorizing. You know how hip hop people be stealing music and doing whatever we want with this stuff, you know. And so it got done to us, and so we were cussing like, man, what the? Who does he think? Come to find out, one of the DJs that we gave the DJ pack to, the instrumentals and everything, gave him the instrumental without us asking. Like he had the instrumental and everything, and told him to do a remix. Did he tell you to do a remix? Oh, you asked him. He asked him. and the dude just gave it to him.
Well, sure, yeah.
Oh no!
Take their stuff.
Not the accidental track thief.
Man, we got a problem. We got a real problem. You know what I mean? But he did good. So I'm listening to it, and everybody's mad, including me. And I said, hold on, y'all. He added some street to this. He did good. Let's bump all this. Let's get him out here. So they contacted him. He came out, and when he came out, he loved it. He was like, oh man, and well, I let him tell it, but he done moved out here, and we're working on this whole project for him. Now we've got two males, and how many females? Eight females, 2 males. You know, but so anyway, that's the song we did for him. Come say hello, because they gonna play. He gonna critique your song, and he tall. He's real tall. We almost got into a scuffle, and I'm looking at his chest like, okay, bro, this brother kind of tall. I might have to go real low on him. Here you go. Say hello, Joseph. It's your song.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
What's your name?
What's up, man?
Joseph Calloway.
Oh, tell us a little
Any
bit
relation
about
to the Callaways?
Nah, not the golf company or nothing.
No, Reggie and
Cab.
Vincent.
Cab Calloway.
No, Reggie and Vincent Calloway.
Glad to have a name. So.
You see, he's too dark to be with Cab Calloway, right?
Yeah, so what's going on? I heard you guys heard my song. You guys, feeling it and stuff. Any feedback or anything?
Yeah, man, we're gonna play a little snippet
Yeah, we're
of
gonna play
it
it to the group and feedback.
But yeah, it's cool. And Mott, I'm actually gonna need you to send that again because for some reason it's not transferring over to this other computer. I have the first one that you sent to me, the California Nights. But
Okay.
But I don't have the A1.
The A1, I sent it via email also.
Yeah.
I sent an email and I sent it, I believe Facebook, but I'll send it again.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna try. But anyway, tell us a bit about what tell us your journey and what you're trying to do, man. What made you move out there with those crazy guys?
It's actually crazy. I'm just a kid from Oakland. I had a dream to do better. Being in the situation that I was in Oakland and growing up fighting and arguing, I just made a conscious decision that I wanted to do better, that I wanted to, escalate in life. So I started doing music behind my big cousin. And I mean, a lot of stuff happened, me being young and dumb, going to jail, getting into fights and stuff. And I was tired of everything. It's like that I wanted to do for myself. So upon me doing a remix for one of the artists, they brought me out here, showed me what genuine love was, and wanted to help me understand the business more. And then we just grew a connection from there. And I just picked up my life and came out here.
Man, that's cool, man. That's a bold move too. That's something that's it takes guts to do. I had a whole band full of people that we were on the road coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then one little incident happened on the road that made us break down, and everybody decided to turn around but me. And 30-something years later, my whole life changed from making that decision and not backing out. So you got to make bold moves like that. But I applaud you, bro.
Man, I applaud you. I mean, I never would have thought that I'd be sitting here, conversing with you about music, and all these people are interested in what I'm doing, and I just love to sing. So I never thought people would be so interested. Man. It's actually an honor, and I'm a little bit nervous, but everything's gonna be cool. It's a learning experience.
Well, do you tell us like all the things that you do, and what are you looking to achieve with your career? First of all,
I sing, I write, I act, and I do poetry. And at first, I wasn't thinking too much about it. Like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. I want to be famous. I want the girls. And now that Mott and the rest of the lab rats have started to teach me more and put more stuff into my head, I started to think different. I'm thinking longevity. I want to be able 20, 30, 40 years from now, oh, Joseph Calloway, like one of the greatest singers, one of the most hardworking people, and for people to listen to my music and get a feeling. I want people to be able to say, oh yeah, I'm happy, I'm alive, I'm jumping, I'm cool. I want people to lose the Joseph Calloway and feel as though it's their self. So when they hear A1, I want them to be like, you know, me and my team A1, you know, that it's them on stage, that it's them performing, like, you know, just be excited and understand that I'm trying to give energy back, you know, and I want to do that for 30, 40 years, even after the fact. I want them to remember it. I'm going for longevity in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man. Well, you know, this is your first time on with us, so we got to put you on the spot, bro. Sing something. You know, let us hear you. That's how you become the stars. You gotta be ready.
I can give you 32 reasons why you should. Or I can give you 41, you know it if I could. You should be with me, I know you're tired of being alone. I hear all this pain when we're talking on the phone. You say you love me and you're tired of all these dudes. I say I love you too, and I'll never lie to you. Just a little something, you know.
Okay, now, you joined the crew now, and that wasn't too bad though. But we're gonna be a little rough on you. You didn't get the date right there, bro. You know, sing it like you mean it now for us, man. Come on and do it. You know, just don't hold back. I know you're a little nervous, but sing, brother, sing.
All right. I can give you 32 reasons why you should. Or I can give you 41, you know it if I could. You should be with me, I know you're tired of being alone. I hear all this pain when we talking on the phone. You say you love me and you're tired of all these dudes. I say I love you too and I'll never lie to you. I'm going insane, I don't know what to do. So let's just sit back, let me see what you do.
All right now, much better, much better. Did
Beat
you
him
feel
up.
that?
Beat him up. So that was
Yeah,
Don't clap for him. Who's that clapping?
yeah,
Don't
man.
clap for him. Beat him up.
Oh, but he's getting it. That was much better than that first time, man. I was like, come on now.
First time he was trying to memorize them words.
Yeah, I mean,
get them words out.
It's crazy because even though, like, I just been working and stuff, I got to learn how to push through me being tired and me feeling like my voice is not up to par for the day. And when somebody says do this and they want to hear my talent and hear what I got, I'm supposed to be able to just feed it to them. So, you know,
Yeah.
Feel ready for all that.
Yeah. Well, you got a nice voice, man. And the main thing is a lot of this has nothing to do with the voice. It has to do with answering all the things you just talked about. It's a mental game, you know, pushing past you saying that you're tired, you know. You got to feel it. You know, I didn't feel you that first time because you weren't feeling it. You were just singing. And the best singers feel it every time it comes out of their voice. Don't matter how tired they are, they squeeze them words out. Them words mean something. Every word is like a gold coin or something. So they never throw them away, you know. And so you got to remember, just push through that mental thing. You know, your voice will serve you if your mind serves you first.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, brother. But good, man, good. Well, you're in the right place with the crew, you know, and Mott's always ready to beat somebody up, so you know.
Beat you up or make you cry.
You know, dealing with Mott all day, every day. This not right. Get on this. That's the whole rap with Dre in my ear. Like, you know, I'm learning perfection. That's what I'm learning. Even if it's fantastic, phenomenal, astonishing, great, hell no, that's not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. You know, man, I got to tell you, one of the best things that I watched the other day, they had a thing on NBA TV about LeBron James and him just explaining his mindset and mentality. And I've heard this same type of mindset from champions and stars and everything. But it's a great thing if you ever get a chance to catch it and just see how this cat thinks and what drives him. You know, he says the same things like Michael Jordan said and Kobe Bryant and all the you know, there's a certain mindset that makes you push past when you think you've given it all, give some more. You know, when you think you can't do no more, there's more to do. You know, I mean, there's something that makes the very best people to get through and break through. They always keep going for that, you know, and you know, you can get anything you want on it. I truly believe it. A lot of times it's just simply not stopping short.
Man, thank you. Man. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. I'm definitely learning how to just push through adversity because with me going through so much, I never use that as an excuse. I never was like, oh, I was given a shorthand in life. I'm born in Oakland, California. I was supposed to fall, supposed to fail. I never let that stick in my mind. I made the conscious decision to push further, to go past and live above what society says I should be, and it landed me here. It landed me at the beginning of my career, talking to you. You know, having these people are wondering what I'm about to do. So definitely won't disappoint. Definitely ready for the challenge. I'm definitely excited and humbled, and just waiting for God to use me as He wants to and stuff. So my single is definitely coming out this week. It's definitely gonna be crazy, and everything is gonna be in God's time, God's will. So
Where'd you say you were from? We were in an argument in there. He said, "I'm from." Where you from?
I'm from East Oakland, California.
He hear a singer in here like, man, I'm from East Compton. Man, I'm from West Side Fresno. What's up? You in Fresno? You in my house? You ain't in Oakland.
Man, I'm from the Bay Area. The Bay Area has had a lot of people come out of the Bay Area, a lot of talking, a lot of stuff going on. So I definitely want to put life back into R&B out of the Bay Area. Definitely want to bring a new eye to the Bay Area for R&B and young singers.
Who are some of your influences?
My ones, I want to say number one would be Jamie Foxx when he used to do comedy and sing at the same time. You know, like Mary, Mary, quite contrary, God and go. Girl, I bet you I could wet you really nice and slow. I used to watch him all the time, and it just used to make me want to sing more and more. I love R. Kelly, the control that he has over his voice, what he can do with it at a moment's time. Like, I'm definitely look up to him. I'm definitely trying to get better and better so I can reach that caliber. And Michael Jackson, so not a cliche.
Oh, cool.
It's cool. You got a couple of qualities that remind me of Tyrese when he was getting started.
Man, I hear that a lot, especially my nickname being Jody.
Okay.
You know, my mom gave me a nickname.
You got a bike, man.
You got a bike, man.
Yeah, no, my mom. I'm definitely a baby boy. I'm definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
My mom, she definitely gave me the name Jody, and I ran with it. So, oh, Jody.
Like the tacos, man.
I definitely love tacos. I definitely do love tacos. I actually met Snoop Dogg and got into it with him, like, you know, playfully got into it with Snoop Dogg about Taraji P. Henson, and I'm definitely gonna tell him that she's mine. So if anybody sees him or talks to him, let me know that Joseph Calloway says Taraji P. Henson is really his wife.
Don Patterson came on there and he had popped off for a second and said, "Who's that singing?" And it sounded good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We don't know nothing about no Jody calls, but we're gonna have him doing Jody calls since his name's Jody. We're gonna mess with him.
Do you read? Do you read a lot in your off time?
Not as much as I should, but I definitely do read because I write, so I definitely want to get better.
Right. I was just wondering. Your cadence and your diction is real good, man.
Thank you.
Just your regular speaking voice.
I mean, I try. I don't want to yo, me and mama, this like that, because people already expect that from me. I'm a 6'4", 20-year-old man from East Oakland. I'm supposed to be dead in jail, have AIDS, and have kids. And I actually do all those statistics, so I definitely want to continue to be more than what they say I would.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, good, man. I love your attitude, man. It's a great attitude, Let me also mention this. You mentioned about, like, Jamie Foxx being an influence, like, when he was doing comedy and singing. And that's a great example for you to learn and help you elevate. Because Jamie Foxx, the reason why he broke through, and it doesn't matter what he does, he's at a high level of his mindset. So when he sang, who else could sing, sing nursery rhyme songs and stuff like that and still make you feel them? That's the perfect example to let you know that, you've got to get into, it wasn't about the tone of what he's singing, because if he sang it ordinary, it would have just been, like everybody else singing Mary, Mary, quite contrary, and all that, But you getting in and singing and singing anything that you sing, you've got to connect to the lyrics where it's like, man, they can sound like the most ridiculous thing, but if you're committed, you're serious about what you're singing and the way you approach it, and you're serious about milking what those words are saying, really projecting the meaning of what those words are saying, it's going to connect, So, like, in fact, do me a favor and take a second to think about this. I want you to walk with me through this little journey here, because I want you to be Jamie Foxx. Now, don't be Jamie Foxx the singer, because when he sang that, he wasn't being Jamie Foxx the singer. He just could happen to sing, but he wanted that joke, that parody to connect, and it just happened to sound good because he's got a great voice. So he got into those words and made it sound real, even though it's the most ridiculous thing. He could have sang the phone book and the same thing if you're committed to it. So I want you to do that. Take that song or anything else that you want, and let's hear you do a little exercise on the words, the message that you're trying to push through. Think about it for a second, and then just hit us with it. This is a great lesson in practice.
Just any like a nursery rhyme, or just anything I'm feeling.
Anything you can think of, whatever you think you can pull off, but don't, like I said, get out of your singer head first of all. Don't think I'm gonna sing something for them. I want you to connect something for us.
I'm nervous right now.
I don't believe you. You didn't sound. I mean, you sound nervous, but you sound nervous because you sound like you're trying to sing. That's why you're nervous.
I'm nervous right now. I'm sitting in front of two of the biggest names that I could ever meet, and I'm nervous right now, but I'm doing my best. Oh, I'm doing my best, keeping my mind straight, keeping my back up. I'm nervous, nervous, nervous. I'm nervous right now, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. Even though I'm nervous, I'm nervous, I'm nervous.
Breaking through.
Best I can.
We're gonna get you a shower today.
You doing it, man. That's cool. You started letting go towards the second half. The longer you went, you started getting a little more free. You started out trying to sing something, and then as you started going, it started freeing up, and then I could feel it. We knew that you're nervous, but make us believe, you just here with a bunch of brothers. Why are you nervous? You were nervous because you were trying to sing.
Right. Yes, sir.
But you're a singer, so you shouldn't be nervous because you're trying to sing. That's what you do. That's your strength. You embrace that. If any time you shouldn't be nervous is when you singing. That's your strength. You embrace that.
Yes, sir.
Now, Khaliq, I've sent the Dropbox link to your Gmail, Khaliq-O-Vision and Gmail.
Okay, I think I got it too. I think I got it A1 clean here. So,
Dre has sent it from his computer also.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Oh, you got the dirty version from you?
I got the clean version.
Dre, it's a dirty version.
I got the clean version, and I'm only going to play a snippet of it. Maybe about 30 seconds. So
And Dave, I had sent it to you also. I think I sent it to your email and on Facebook. Don't remember, but I know I sent it to you.
Right, Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me in fact, let me see if it'll play through for a second. Let me try. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. This is his first song with us.
Whole lot of bad bitches They seem upset by what they see. What you know about Callaway? Turned up, live life like Saturday. And we just might take your girl and her friends to the crib for a gathering. Then we jump in the car, city to city, they know who we are. Different club but the same shit. OTY's who I came with. And the team making moves. Just dropped 250 on the shoes. Even though they all disapprove. Me and my team front page of the news. Me and my whole clique A1. 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 Me and my whole clique A1. Now watch me break it down. I don't think they get it. I ain't here to
Oh, you ate them all. That's fast. I gave you in 1 second and you waited.
Superstar in the making. You didn't know I was mine for the taking. Chasing hoes is a no-no. Only thing I'll chase is Benjamin Franklin. Green light go and the beat don't stop. And the oven dope broke so the heat won't stop. Make them all get low, girl. Calling my phone and the freak won't stop. Meanwhile, the team making moves. Just dropped 250 on the shoes. And even though they disapprove, me and my team front page of the news. Me and my whole clique A1. 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 Me and my whole clique A1.
Okay, cool. I didn't mean to play it that long. I got carried away.
The rap was about to. I was going to say, cool. If you're gonna play it that much, you might as well play H-Bomb rapping.
No. I meant to stop it, but I was listening and everything, and I got carried away. So forgive me. But that's enough. We get the idea. And quick question for you, Matt and Dre. That's the original version. That's not the one that was tuned, right?
That's the original. That's the original.
Original.
And what you just sent me is what did you send the same thing or did you send the tune version?
You have
all the originals.
Yeah, you have the original.
Okay.
And you notice the clean was mismarked. It wasn't clean.
Yeah.
Call up late at night thinking you sending the clean one.
Oh, okay. So well, anyway, I wanted to mention something. Then I'm curious to hear what you guys did on the tuning. I hear what both of you are saying. The 808 is slightly out of tune, but it's not far out of tune.
It's not far out.
It's just slightly out of tune because I'm listening to the tuning between it and the tuning of the that ostinato sample that you have. That doom 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 doom. There's a key that's in. The vocal is living within that key and everything. And the 808 that's on here now that we just heard is slightly flat, but just slightly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if when you did a new tuning, if you guys tuned it a lot different, but you only really needed to just take it up slightly higher.
Yeah.
A little bit. We just pitched it up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, just like a matter of a few, probably hundredths of a cent.
I don't know what they did, but they all made a fuss out of it. And when I heard it, I was like, what y'all do?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded totally different to me, just from whatever they did to the sub.
Well, the sub feels good there. It's just slightly out of tune. So hopefully you guys didn't go too far. Go back and take a listen and just be sure that you didn't go too far in your tuning because it's in the right key.
Bad.
It's just slight, yeah.
They definitely were up to like 4 in the morning playing it over and over, working on it. And I'm definitely proud I have a team that can catch every little thing and will stay up all night and work to perfection. So I'm definitely confident and super proud of the team that I picked to work with. I have some of like the best team members ever. And I'm
Hey, Dre, can I ask something? Dre, what'd you do on the vocals, man?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't ever know. I just do stuff.
Well, it sounds good. I mean, you've sent me a bunch of tunes, and I've seen and heard the progression. And
Thanks, man.
This one was really natural, and a lot of the moves you made sounded good. I do hear a definite difference And I think also it's because you're working with somebody he's got some range. You know what I'm saying? We had talked about that before. You know, when you get a vocalist and you got some range and you can do some things, it's going to let you experiment a little bit more.
One thing we did do was we recorded with a different mic position.
Oh, what'd you use?
Let me show you
what we did.
A lot of times people are going directly into the mic, and I told them, you know, let's stop going straight into the mic all the time. So, like even this morning, hold on, let's see. Even this morning,
that's how we recorded.
Let me see. The pop filter.
Usually be like right here.
What is that? Audio Technica or something?
What is 414?
What's a 414?
414.
Yeah, XL2.
So if you could,
cool.
If you could imagine, like the pop filter is down here, and their voice, they're going here into the pop filter, and the mic. Khaliq, you have this on one of your videos, as a matter of fact.
You side mic.
On the internet, where the mic is up in front of them, but they're not blowing into the mic.
Right.
It's that's the position that they chose this time. So the air is going here and never hitting the mic, and yeah.
The position of the mic is good. I'm not sure about the angle though. It seems like the angle might be a little too steep. Because what you want to do is when you catch that, you want to catch the face mask here. This is the resonating mask, and with it being angled so much, you might be missing. It seems like it's coming down a little more towards the bottom lip and the chin, as opposed to catching the facial mask and all of that.
We'll record it a couple of different ways and then pick whichever one ends up being the one we like. Like, up that one, and don't even judge it. We just be like, okay, we like that. And that's what it ended up being. So he probably has something wrong with his face, and that corrected it. And see, that corrected it right there.
Okay.
So everyone.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say too. Dre. When you're the thing you should pay attention to with marrying the vocals, because I hear your vocal sound is getting better and starting to sit in there, but it's still not present like it needs to be. That his vocal, and he's got the tone and quality in his voice where that needs to be driving the track. Right now the 808 is driving that track, so he's kind of there, and the potential's there, but work on getting it where it has a little more of a present sound so that it drives what's going on there. And I think that'll make that song pop through a little bit. There was a couple of things that sounded like maybe you should toy with some of the balances a little bit, because you have some nice parts in their musical stuff I'm hearing. Sounds like some stuff should come in and get a little bit more interplay, you know.
I like the fact that I didn't have to try and hear what he was saying. I could hear every word that he's pronouncing clearly. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, I understand the volume level thing, but a lot of times with those songs, when the volume level gets to be competing with the vocal, it distracts you so much you have to go, what did he just say? What did he just say?
Yeah, exactly.
But I could follow along everything he was saying, so that's the thing I like, and I like.
Yeah, and plus tonally, the presence. If you make the presence come through, because where you're setting it at level-wise sounds good, but it's losing in the presence, you know. So it's not like, you know, certain things are they're pretty clear. You can hear what's going on, but there's a presence that makes it sound commanding.
Yeah, his voice
this is a frequency thing that you need to carve out a little bit more.
His voice right now is real strong, and we're just coming across this conversation, and we can tell he's got a lot of energy there. That isn't being used. So, you know. But
it sounds good though, guys. You guys are doing good. I think that's what'll help you step up and elevate it to the next level. Is work on just whatever you got to do to get that vocal sound where there's no doubt about what's going on. The level where it's sitting now, I'm working with the track is in a good area, but you know, the presence of how it sits there and pokes through so that everything is clear, you know, because he's saying certain words and I can hear them and I can kind of hear them, but at the same time there's little nuances, you know, you ought to be able to close your eyes and see how he's forming his lips when he's talking. You know, you ought to be able to imagine that just because that's how present and clear it sounds and comes out. You know, you ought to be able to hear the, you know, the quality of the room that was recorded in, even though it's part of it. And you don't necessarily need to hear the air. You need to hear the life that is around him when you guys did that. And it's just little tweaks that you guys can get on there that'll make it pop out a little more. What kind of compression and stuff are you using on him?
I gotta look real quick.
It's ran into. Hold on. What's this thing? We got it going through the the AKG is going into the.
It says the Chandler preamp.
The Chandler.
EMI TG2 and it's going into 1176 LN.
What was the compression ratio?
That's just the preamp.
You're not compressing with the
1176.
What were you compressing?
Ratio 4
to 1 on the 1176 coming in.
Where was the attack knob set?
Ooh, all the way to the right.
All the way to the right.
All the way to the right.
Okay, that's
not taking off a lot, Khaliq.
That's too fast, yeah. Because the 1176 is a super fast compressor, and so that's what that's doing is it's squashing him to not let the energy edge of his consonants come through.
Right, we're just taking off barely touching it, taking off the tips. Me, I don't like the chest stuff jumping. So I do a lot to keep that stuff from jumping, and it's my fault that the vocals are darkish. I wanted them. I get tired of like unless I do parallel compression and squash, and like squat like just have highs and squash the highs and turn that squash highness up to where it just sits evenly. I don't like all the high frequency in vocals because they end up hurting my ear, and then the hi-hats and stuff, the cymbals, they come through. Like the hi-hats come through better when I darken the vocal. It's like the vocal to me sits in there. And like me and Drake, we mix different, so I'll come and darken it, he'll come and brighten it. Like he just said, no, I went back and boosted 5K. I was like, oh, you did? You know, we go back and forth doing stuff until we get something that both of us end up liking. And I end up not knowing what he's done. He doesn't know what I've done. You know, do stuff. I mean, I just found out that he boosted 5K. He said, oh, no, I boosted 5K and made it sizzle. Like, you did. Ain't no telling what I did after that.
Yep. And that might not be a bad thing. That might be what I was talking about, you know, when say that it needed a little bit more presence to me. But at the same time, you don't want it irritating. You know, he's got a voice that has a richness of quality, but he also has a range in just his sound, not a range in how he sings, but his sound. You know, he's got a full resonance in the lower side, but he's also got a little thing that's up here. So capturing all of that is going to be the trick for you guys to make sure you do without crushing the things out that take the life out of what is naturally him. You know, that's probably what I was hearing was that compression, because it's like I said, it sounds good, but it sounds restrained a bit to me. You know, it sounds a bit restrained.
See, so we got to get into your lip smacking, and he said we got to get into your mouth, how all your mouth sounds.
Well, you know, not overdoing it and all that, and don't get weird up in there. So like, yeah, but you know, we won't see y'all wearing no lipstick and high heels or anything.
I'm definitely not gonna do that.
No, Khaliq, people trip out, Khaliq, when we ask them, you have a Tic Tac in your mouth or some gum or something? Like you can hear stuff after a while, after you get all the compression and EQ going, how you hear all this little nuance stuff. And people trip out when we say that to them, like, hey, you got spit in your mouth right now. Yeah, how'd you know? Because I hear it loud and clear.
Loud and clear. And the compression's making it even worse. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a balance of getting all that stuff in, but it's the same time, you know, not squashing out the life. You know, he sounds like, it sounds like, and I mean, did you guys, from what we heard, I know this is basically a rough mix, but when you approach going towards your final mix or whatever, toy a little bit with that stuff to get some more life out of what you have already captured there, you know, not just dynamically, but because he's singing kind of smooth. So you want to make sure you don't take out too much and make it too smooth. so that it has, because the track's got a little subtle bounce and life to it. So if everything is not pulsing all together with what that subtle life is, then the track will kind of stay linear, you know. And you want it to inject some feeling and emotion to it, you know.
What I was actually thinking was automation, like if when I listen to old mixes, I could tell you guys were riding faders. I would hear a sound when it's introduced come in loud and then introduce itself and then drop down in the background.
Right.
That type of stuff. We didn't do that on here.
Right.
And automation, that type of automation or EQ automation is what I was actually wanting to do to this, to just bring some elements out for a second and add a little excitement to it.
Yeah, that'll definitely help. You know. And the
You
main
know
thing
that-
is though, do a static mix that introduces as much as it can before you do that, because those are enhancements. You want the mix to be as powerful. Like I said, the whole key basically that we always did, and you'll see most guys do, is they can put up a basically a static mix without all the automation, and it's still bumping and banging. It just gets better from there. So make sure whatever static mix you got coming up has the elements that you want before you do that, because then that just makes it even better.
Yeah. You know, another thing too on the automation tip, sometimes you'll see that's where you see a lot of people deal with the subharmonic and what they want to do with that. They'll use just programmable mutes, so you'll hear that subharmonic kick in at a certain pace all through the song. You know, every fourth note you'll hear it, or whatever. They'll use it in different places, as opposed to having it in there throbbing constantly. They'll have it on its own little rhythmic trail all the way through the song. The subharmonic popping in and out. So sometimes you can use that same thing with automation to deal with what you want the sub to do, as far as within that whole context of the rhythm.
Yep. Hey, so you know what, guys? But that's a great job, and it's going on. Like I said, when we give all these different things, these are just thoughts to think about. It doesn't mean any one of them's right or wrong or anything like that. Just another way to look at some stuff to add to the toolkit. So with that being said, I want to play the other song that you sent me to real quick. Okay, is that cool with you?
Oh yeah.
Let me hit that real quick and get that on.
Could you turn it up a little, Khaliq?
Yeah.
And I'm so far gone with it. MJ 2-3, all in the zone with it. Keep it G like a pound of it. California's very own homegrown.
Listen to a song. You like it? See what?
Cool. Tell us a little bit about this one, man.
Guys, can you hear us? Dre, tell us a little bit about it.
I was muted. I didn't know what I was doing. Let's see that song. What do you guys want to know about it?
Well, give us some, information and history on and what you're trying to do with it. Where is it at? Is that are you done with it, or what? Where are we at in the process? All that.
They actually released that song maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, possibly something like that. H-Bomb wrote it from the Lab Rats, drafted the beat. Actually, they have a show tonight. Matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah, come to think of it. Yeah, that's about it on that one. I mean, I think the record's okay. Me personally, it's not one of my favorites.
What was
that
the
we've
issue
done.
you ran into later? Low end.
On what?
The low end on it. You ran into an issue.
It was too much low end.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
It was way too much low end at it. They played it at a club event. It was way too much low end, so I had to go in and redo it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what version you got, because I got like
that's the original standard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I got like 30 versions of that track. Yeah, I got a lot of those.
There's something in it. For some reason, with whatever's going on in here, we don't hear the low stuff. He had a car. Dre has his car, and I had done a mix. It sounded great everywhere. When I put it in his booming system, when we were on the road, all I heard was sub.
Low end.
Yeah.
That's all I heard.
Our room sucks.
Yeah, for low end, the room is horrible. So, and we're revamping. We're about to get an Apollo. We're making a whole bunch of changes, and part of what we're going to try to do is figure out some way to where the low end is taken care of. Whatever we have to do. If I have to pipe it over the air into that room and have a system, whatever, we need to get it to where when we're done, we're done.
Did you guys check that when you were mixing on headphones or anything?
Did you check it on the Dre Beats?
Yeah, I usually check it in the Dre Beats, but it's
What do you have, the Beats Pro?
I got the studios and the mixers.
Oh, you guys need to have some pros, yeah.
Man, definitely need some pros. But our monitors are running through that freaking Persona studio thing, and I don't like it. Freaking always clips. It's horrible. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about the Studio Live?
No, not even. What is this? It's the little monitor system.
You're talking about the central station.
The central station. Oh, okay.
It's not even the central station. It's the one. It's the one under the central station.
Oh, it's a desktop one.
Huh?
It's the one that sits on the desktop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
The Skid Row station.
First of all, just so you know, those devices that do that monitor summing, they do colorize the sound. I remember when we actually tested them. Khaliq, you remember when we tested them all at Paisley, and we had the central station, a couple others, Big Knob, and we lined them all up, and you can actually hear the qualities that each one has on the effect it has on the music. So it definitely will change it. So you need to really make sure your room or whatever you're doing, you're not losing anything inside the room, because you're definitely going to change the characteristic of your sound coming out of that box. You need to make sure what you're hearing is what you're printing.
Man,
you know,
we're most definitely upgrading our system. We're getting the room treated and a whole bunch of other stuff because I died, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the big offhand, the big knob actually added more distortion on the low end quicker.
Yeah.
The central station actually added mid-range and high distortion quicker, and then I think the other box that we had was a dangerous box. So, and the dangerous actually brought everything up to a level of clarity, and you just have more dynamic range you're operating within. But again, this is one of those things, that device that you have, that's the lower end of the two of the PreSonus line. I don't even know if they make it anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's a good box. I'm not ragging. I'm just telling you, these boxes all have a characteristic on the sound. And then, you know, if you guys spin around, move away from your front wall for a second. Let us see the front of your control room.
Well, you know, one of the things is and that's not that big of the deal, because the main deal is just that there's it's the room that's fooling you. So you guys are just putting too much low end in, period. Doesn't matter what interface you're going to be using.
Yeah.
You got to check it on something. So, you know, this is why I use the Sennheisers. I got these HD 650s I use because these are what like mastering engineers use. These are more a little more accurate and everything. They'll kind of get you to know what you really have got. But when I want to see what's going on the low end, then of course I'm gonna use these, because these, you know, even though they're hyped on the low end, this will kind of tell you. These will show you what a subwoofer is going to be hearing and stuff like that. So I go between these two to get a real world of how is this going to translate. You know, if I'm not using a sub, you know, these beats definitely will let you hear like you've got a sub, and then let you know if you got too much rumbling down there. That's what it sounds like, kind of in general, that is happening with you guys.
And you know how you can tell it too, Dre, is that you're making tracks for these people to perform live, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the way you can tell what's going on right now is when you take the tracks that you make to support them in a club. Are you making them based off of the work that you're playing back, or are you making them dry?
Dry as in
no effects. You're not printing effects.
I print the effects.
Okay.
Well,
so I would.
It's on the record like that. The California Nights track.
Mm-hmm.
The track I did some adjustments to the whole mix. But I definitely left their ad-libs, and I definitely left the hook on there.
Sometimes this is just a suggestion, because what you're doing when you make backing tracks, you got to realize you're going into a club to play back these files, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you put down and print a delay that you put on a record, you're not giving any consideration for what the natural delay of the club is, which means when you make a club track to support somebody, you can have two choices. You can either make it entirely dry, or if you're going to make something where you have the background vocals, make sure you have a clear definition and a lower volume on the affected track, so that it gives the engineer who's supporting them the ability to turn up their music, and they have their backing track, but they don't have delayed vocals out of time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you could get into a club situation, and what happens is you're playing the thing you think is banging in that room, which you already know you have trouble with. Then you go to a club, and you're just trying to play back as loud as you can to support an artist. And we already hear, I mean, I was just listening to the track, I wrote a couple of comments. The main vocal needs to be up, because what I heard was a lot of affected vocal. So if your main vocal is all affected vocal, when they go to the club, they're going to have a happy medium, you know, because it might not come out like that. They might not have a bunch of effects at the club, and the guy at the club might only know how to put on a backing CD. He might not know how to mix. So you know, all those things come into play when you're going to do live. It's just another way to look at presenting the material. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me say something, even before we get to there, you know, because you might not get to know other club dates if the record ain't right. You know,
Right.
so don't mix for live. You know,
Yeah.
don't you know you're not mixing for the club because you know you might just get it in a few local clubs. If you're trying to get live, I mean, you're trying to get worldwide or whatever, you've got to check these things ahead of time to make sure that they are on the same sonic competitiveness with everybody else. And it was pretty obvious. I mean, if you guys are looking even in the chat here, that's the one comment that everybody heard is like the bass is just kind of just blaring through and overwhelming everything. The other thing is the vocals were definitely getting swallowed up and not clear. And there was no, remember I always talk to you guys about having a clear transition from section to section. And you don't have a clear transition to know when we are going from this verse into this chorus, you know, and you guys are talking about, you know, California something sound or whatever, and round, whatever all that was. I heard some background vocals doing that. They sounded real small and puny, and the lead vocals, and everything sounded real condensed in this middle. You know, you got to spread and widen it out, make it different so it sounds big when it gets to that section. That's supposed to be the hook section, and there was nothing clear enough to really make it just jump out at you. That, okay, yeah, we are at the hook. This is what you are supposed to remember. Does that make sense to you guys? You know, I'm not ragging on what you did, but just like I said, we're trying to dig in to see how can you elevate to the next level for where you're trying to go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll meet you outside back since you're ripping our mix apart.
Yeah, man. So but you know, but no, I mean, because both of the tracks have a lot of potential, so it always comes down. You guys know what to do in general. It comes down to the little stuff now that makes the difference, you know. And the other thing is, and it's the same thing that I said, the vocals weren't present enough, you know. So there's something within what you guys are hearing in your environment that when I'm listening to these vocals now, they're not sounding present. You know, they're clear. They're kind of clear. That one wasn't as clear as the other one, per se, because when you had more vocal stuff going on, especially in the chorus, there was something going on with the effects and everything. So stuff was kind of started masking and jumping on top of each other. So let's go back and listen to that and see how you can clean and air that out a bit, you know, so that every part has its own little space, you know, everybody's spread out a little bit and out of each other's way, including the effects that you're using. And you'll get a lot better result on that. And it'll definitely take on the feeling that you guys wanted to do when it gets to the chorus. Yep. So
and just in case you didn't catch it, that was no, I'm not even gonna say. If you didn't hear whose vocals were in there, I never mind. I'll tell you in private.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, most definitely in private.
But everything is cool though, you know. I mean, like it all is like right there.
What'd you say, Khaliq?
I said it's all right there, you know. So it's just down to little stuff when you want to kick it up to the next level. And these or since that's already out there, you know, if you start getting the momentum that you want, where you want to revisit it, now you kind of just have some input on different ways to look at it, you know, or for the next thing, you know. That's all it is.
Thank you.
Anybody else notice any stuff or anything that they want to chime in on?
Yeah, I actually got a question. Hey guys, first of all, nice to meet you. How did you make that bass so present and nice?
Crickets.
On which track?
on both. I didn't see much of a difference. It's just that it's really nice and growling.
You remember when I talk when I'm in the group and I'm talking about boosting in the limiters? You ever hear me talking about boosting in the limiters? You and I will do a hangout and we'll do that boosting in the limiter stuff together. All right.
All right.
You and I, one-on-one, we'll do it. We'll grab some kicks and whatever. And nah, bruh, it's not our bass, not Decapitator. It's boosting in the limiter is a whole different beast. But you can use those with that. But yeah, there's a whole thing you can do with boosting frequencies into limiters that actually, when it comes to gain staging, it can change things for you. But we'll get into doing it, and you'll see what I mean. Any of you
All
guys
right.
are welcome to join when we go to do it. Any of you guys are welcome to join. I'll answer any questions. You guys can send me your kicks. What you do is you send me your wimpiest, like, crappy kick, and we make it. We put it on steroids. Like some guys will have. Like, I'll go and take acoustic drums that somebody's played on some wimpy kit, and then turn it into some thumping, whatever that's heard loud and clear, even at low volume. And it doesn't eat up your headroom, even though it's doing that. You can actually have it at a lower level, and it's knocking like something that's eating up your headroom.
Cool.
Thanks.
Is that helpful, Vladi?
Yeah. So you're actually boosting a specific frequency into the limiter, or the
Do this,
whole thing?
Vladdy, do this. Do this. Call up a kick, and whatever your kick is at, right? Let's say your kick is peaking at -3 dBFs, right? Make it peak. Turn it down. You know what? Insert an EQ that has a gain on it, an input gain. Any EQ with an input gain, and give yourself like 12 dB of headroom. So you take the input gain on the EQ and you adjust it so that you have at least 12 dB of headroom, right? Within that EQ, and then go and get a limiter. Put the limiter on, that has a threshold, and start lowering that threshold down until you see reduction. Once you see reduction, adjust it right to the point where, if you go to where there's no reduction, and if you go down even 0.1 dB, you see reduction. At that point, the EQ still has 12 dB of headroom at least, but the volume of that kick now goes up because you lowered the threshold on that limiter. It brings the volume up, and then you set the output of that limiter to whatever volume you want. Now, any EQ boost that you do, if you boost 500 hertz, if you do you know how when you search for frequencies, you do that very slim Q boost, like when you look for problem frequencies, you could do that around 30, 40, 50, 60 hertz, and you'll hear 808, an 808 sound, but the output of that limiter will the dBFS will stay the same, but your sound can increase dramatically. So it could get that sub drop could get real loud. The sub frequencies can get real loud, but the dBFS output of that EQ of that limiter stays the same. Because what you've done is you've lowered the threshold down to where the peak of that sound is, the frequency, the kick or whatever, bass, whatever, but it's not doing anything. And once you start boosting frequencies, that limiter the output doesn't move, but you're pushing frequencies into it. And say you push wide 5K, 8K into that with your kick or sub, your bass, the bass will get brighter, but the output of that limiter will stay the same, and it'll still sound transient. Try it. It's crazy. It might not make any sense, but try it. You'll notice that your kick and bass actually has transient. You'll still have to take care of the transients because it's moving up until it gets to that point. It's still moving. Like you didn't address any of this stuff down here moving, but once it gets here, it starts getting, limited, but just the frequencies of your choice. And so you're doing stuff by ear so that when you're done, it's something that you like because you've done it by ear. But again, we'll do a hangout. You'll try it and you'll see it's crazy, bro, how good it works.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
We do it with vocals and everything. So.
Yeah, and also, Vladi, you can use that same technique. There's a couple ways you can do it because you can use it as the main point source, or you can also use it emulating parallel compressions, really parallel frequency limiting. So you can use it both ways because sometimes if you have the original and you have the original that has its own original dynamics untouched and blend that along with it, and the two become one big strong one. It's another way to approach it. It's both ways. You can get the best of both worlds just by experimenting. It all depends on what the song calls for.
Yeah, it's just it's really cool because I noticed that most people when most people use subs, they're kind of not present enough in the low mids, and they get lost on smaller speakers.
Yep.
All right, and this sub is crazy. It's really, you can hear it. So thanks a lot for this, guys. I'm gonna try it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great technique. He talked about it previously on some stuff, and you can hear it. I mean, this is what a lot of people will use this. It's kind of the secret. Now, the balancing act between it is when anytime you use any type of compression limiting and you're pushing it more, compression by definition makes things denser. So with that knowledge, you got to realize that if you're making all that low end denser, sometimes it can run into just the same problem we had with the other song. So now they're going to have to figure out how to still make it stay up in your face, but not just swallow up everything where it's too much. So there's a balancing act to do. It's a combination of using those techniques, using EQ, using filtering or shelving or whatever it takes to set it just right in the perfect place with the frequency, so it's not swallowing up so much stuff, because it's definitely going to get denser and take up more space.
Yep, and Khaliq, on that the A1 song, that's the first song where Dre went in and EQ'd a whole lot of low and low mid out.
Mm-hmm.
If anything that would interfere with that kick or sub,
the
bass line, he went in and he was brutal, cutting stuff out. And I walked in, I said, Dre, I said, what you do, bro? And that's what it was. It was, the mix was real clear. I said, man, how long I got to tell you this, and but when it happened, it's like everything just opened up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, definitely very helpful to do that. Be aware of that, guys. Cool. Anybody else got any other comments or anything else you want to address? Let's see, we got Elon on here too, man. What's going on? You want to say something?
Y'all are welcome to rip us apart. We can take it.
Definitely follow me on this.
Anybody want to unmute and
nobody gonna dog me out, huh?
Come on and contribute to the discussion.
I feel unwanted because y'all not dogging me out.
Oh, hey, it's really what everyone has said. I mean, you got to bring everything up. That bass sounds great, but you got to bring everything up.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
When I help people mix, because this is Dre's mix. When I help people mix, there's comments I'll make, but it's their mix, and I respect that. And even though I'm Dre's mentor, it's Dre's mix, and there's a whole lot of respect that goes on. And I mean, I make myself known. I make what are my thoughts and whatever known. Like when I mix, it's a total different mix than anybody here. We all have different tastes, and it depends on who's in charge of that mix. I come in and I help them get their vision. It's what it is. And as I like both songs. I'm jamming both of them in my car all the time. But it's very clear to me the California Nights. It's like I would mute all the low, like the bass, the kick, any sub. I would mute all of that and turn everything up and like get it sounding real clear, and then slowly bring it until it feels good, so that I still have that vocal and everything loud and clear. And that was evident as soon as I put it in my car. On the flip side of that, I could jam that song forever because it's warm. It's dark. So I could jam it forever, and I sit there, and that's what I do. And there's mixes back in the day. KRS-One put out a song that I loved, the whole CD, the whole cassette, my bad. And that was the crappiest recording, the crappiest cassette ever. And it really hurt me that it wasn't as good a quality as his original stuff. And this was without me knowing anything, but I jammed it. I jammed it. Because at the end of the day, it was some awesome songs. I really felt they were awesome songs. But if he had done what you guys are saying right now to that, I would have been able to appreciate that song that much more.
You know what that one song reminds me of with the instrumentation? Actually, both of them have elements of it. It reminds me of that song by is it Kid Ink? Kid
Ink.
Yeah, because it has
what you know about people with names like Ink Monster, and Kid Ink?
Well, that song. I think it is called "You Remind Me" or something like. What is it called? "Show Me" or something.
Wow.
What is it? I can't remember. I can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, it has that long droning 808, that on there, and then it has the synth that's doing the high little spark, the doom 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 doom, that type of thing and all that, and the low 808 sound. So it has that kind of spread. So to me, it's like, using a song like that as a example for being able to hear all of the elements from the lowest low to the highest highs that are coming and poking through there, with even there's reverb and stuff on there where you can hear a width that's going on with, and plus you can definitely tell the transitions from when it's going from verse into the hook, you know, and I that's kind of what that song reminded me of. They both have really kind of little elements of them because they're sparse like that.
Now, Khaliq, you kept stressing that we really need to be able to tell the difference, hear the transition from whatever. We need to hear the transitions. Why is that so important that we can distinguish each section of the song?
Because that's the whole key to playing with people's emotions. You know, people go to sleep. You know, people's attention spans are very, very light, and if you don't keep jogging it subliminally, they're gonna tune the song out after a while. You know, this is why, you know, people have to learn that the art of this is why decades later you can still hear the first two notes of Beat It, of that synth. That was on purpose. They spent so much time trying to find, you know, on all, like Michael Jackson was a master of it, because Michael and Quincy and all them pushed for, we've got to find something that when you hear one note or two notes, people, oh, that's my jam. You know, they immediately know on the intro, and then that's the signature, but then you don't stay there too long. You get right into the meat and you pull them into each section. You're pulling them along so that you maintain the control of the listener, not that the listener controls you. You want to control them. You want them to keep staying with you because you are purposely drawing them through each section of the song, and then they can't stop listening because you've given them something to want to listen further. If they think they already know what's going to come, they're going to subliminally start tuning you out, you know. So this is why I say, like, you guys have a few things that once they get in, it kind of stays on this same level here, and you got to do little things that jog that level or incrementally step up a little bit more. You're on one section here, then the next section should be a little bit more here, and the next section, you know, a little bit more here, and then maybe in the middle, drop them back down again and gradually build them back up. These are little subliminal things that play with our emotions and make us keep listening. This is what, when you study all the great songs that have had the hugest impacts, they all have that element.
Thank you.
So, anybody else got anything to say on, or some comments or anything helpful for what we've been hearing, or do anybody have anything they want to play for us? If you got some stuff on SoundCloud, you can give me a link here in the chat. If not, you can send me something if you want. Because if not, we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon.
I just wanted to thank you guys for doing this, because it's been really interesting to see, you know, what we've been seeing, being in the Hangouts for some time now, and it's really interesting to see what these people really do. So thanks for doing this, and keep up the good work, guys.
Very cool, man. Same for you, man. We're gonna have to get you on here. Send us some stuff sometime, Vladi.
Well, when it's ready. It's ready.
Yeah. You know, and even when it's not ready, that sometimes can help you get to where you're trying to get to quicker. Just by, you know, don't be embarrassed. It's all love here. So, you know, when we're all tossing this stuff around, like I said, I never come from the point of view as if anybody's doing anything wrong. It's just about, you know, we all insert our thoughts on how it's affecting us at the moment, and the combination of what everybody contributes helps that person and everybody that's watching what we do with that person elevate their game. So this can be the quickest way for you to get to the next level of what you're trying to do, rather than trying to do it all on your own, you know.
Well, this really means a lot. So, well, we'll be recording soon, so yeah, I'll definitely do this. So, thanks a lot.
Cool.
I posted a link, since the California Nights was low volume. I posted a link in here so that you guys could click on it and play it when we're done or whatever.
Okay. It was playing back at low volume?
Yeah, it was playing. California Nights was low volume.
How was the first one, the volume?
I don't know, guys. You guys tell me. I don't remember.
Yeah, it sounded fun.
The first one was okay? Okay.
Yeah. Because I tried not to make it too loud, because, you know, I didn't want to clip, you know, the bus or anything on here. Google Hangouts, if you drive it too hard, it starts clipping out.
Okay.
But that one I guess was a little bit lower than the other one. So
Both of them are fine actually. I didn't hear anything wrong. So
It's all right. I posted a link in there so you guys could click on it in the chat right there.
okay, yeah, right on the side. So if anybody wants to check it out,
That's the song where the second person on there rapping, when she was done, everybody was saying, "Nah, not good enough. You might not remain on this song." And because it's the first person rapping. Her name is Alakizi. It's her song, the
okay.
California Nights.
Mm-hmm.
So the second person rapping, it was like, you didn't do good enough. We're going to take you off. And at that last moment when it was time to take her off, it was like do or die. That's the verse that she spit. And we fell in love with it and said, I don't know if the first person belongs on this song. And so that the person who saw Alakizi, it's her song. We called and we said, yeah, we might have to take you off this song because she didn't deliver enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she came back in and she's looking at me mean like, oh, so my aunt said blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, it's not good enough. And she came back in and she did her thing to it. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. We need to do this some more.
Stepped it up, yeah.
Yeah, threaten taking you off your own song and you come in here and, give it. And yeah. So anyway.
That's a lesson for everybody too. You got to push yourself. What you think is good enough. And like I said, I keep getting reminded of this. This is why I watch the sports programs. So listening to that interview of LeBron James the other day and just seeing his mentality, that just reminds me of everybody that I know and have met. They all have that mentality, no matter what field they're in. I've been going to a lot of business stuff lately, and these business folks have that same thing. When you think that you've given enough and you get satisfied, then you probably haven't given enough. You probably just got a little bit comfortable. Now there's a point of insanity where you can try to do too much, and at some point, good enough is good enough. But you definitely got to make sure that did I really push to give it my very best, and I just can't do no more. If you know you can do some more, then you got to keep pushing for it. She had more within her, man, and you pushed her, and she pulled it out, especially when threatened with the possibility of getting booted off her own stuff,
Khaliq, Virgil Hawkins, he says, what's going on, Mr. Glover? This is some awesome info. I don't have my webcam and mic plugged in, or I would have chimed in, but this has been some great info. How often do these hangouts happen? I for sure want to be on the rest.
Okay, definitely. Well, Virgil, first of all, go to, in fact, I'll put it in here. It's at mymusichangouts.com. I'll put the link on the side. And go there and register on the site. What that'll do is put you on a notify list. And then I'll let you know when I do these. But we do them usually every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. And every Sunday at 12 noon Pacific time. So, if you're not on the West Coast, translate that 3 hours later. If you're on the East Coast, and if you're overseas, just translate it the way you need to do. But, yeah, we're pretty consistent unless there's a holiday, or sometimes I attend special events, or sometimes if I'm working on a project and I don't have the control of my time, then I have to just power through. But for the most part, we've been pretty consistent. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific and every Sunday at 12 noon Pacific. Come on and join us, man, and I appreciate you being here, man.
We also have Ilan Benetton checking in from France. I think Paris.
Ilan, how you doing, bro?
If he's got his mic, speak up if you got a mic, Ilan.
Might be the same thing. Maybe he's just on but no mic, or we've just seen his picture. Oh, he said he's going to plug in. Okay, and I'm going to put in this link to...
Hey, while he's plugging in, I want to thank everyone, Khaliq, Bill, Mahad, everyone that's on the call, Dave, for being industry professionals, sharing your wealth to people that are, trying to get into this industry or do more in this industry.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, definitely. We love doing this.
Yeah, that's good, man. I really appreciate that, because in certain industries or even in certain areas, we don't get this type of treatment.
Right. I know that well too. Coming up, when I was coming up, people weren't sharing stuff. Everybody was trying to keep it all to themselves, and you had to learn the hard way through trial and error. So, we want to save you some time. And in fact, too, anybody that's on here, if you haven't, do me a favor and go to my YouTube channel and subscribe on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com user/Khaliq-O-Vision. And you can go there and just hit subscribe, and that way you'll know when some of these things get posted or when I post some new videos. I'm planning on ramping things up even a lot more over the rest of this year. So be on the lookout. You're gonna get a lot of great stuff, And like I mentioned, I posted the link to mymusichangouts.com over in the chat box. But if you're watching this video, just go to mymusichangouts.com and register to get on the notified list for these hangouts.
Hey, Khaliq.
Yes.
This youngster, he had a class where they taught him some stuff about compression, and he said, "I think I finally got it." And I said, "Hey, show me about the compression." And he said, "Oh no, man." He started protecting his compression understanding. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I can't show you my secrets.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see that too, man. I mean, I see that guys that go to certain classes. I'm not gonna name the names, but yeah, I'm not gonna show you my. I mean, you can't die with it, man. You can leave here tomorrow, and that whatever knowledge you know, it's gone, man.
This kid don't know nothing about no compression. I was gonna help him.
Everybody gets one or two things. And plus, the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is it's real easy to do all this stuff and find your little setting in your comfort zone, the type of music that you like. Let somebody throw you a curveball, something you don't know about, and make all that stuff fit into a style you don't know about or something. Yeah. That's when you really get the real test. And a lot of people get arrogant because they can do what they are comfortable doing. And so they think that I've got it, eureka. And it's not that simple, So for him to go like that, I'm gonna hold it back. I can't show you mine. I can't show you what I'm doing, man. That's so funny to me.
I'm looking at this dude like, for real?
Yeah.
My bad. I don't want to intrude on your piece of gold.
Yeah, right. It's so funny because that's why I love, like, you remember years ago when Dave Pensado was on Gear Sluts and all these, and what was the other one, Harmony Central and some of those other places, where he was posting all his settings, compression settings, EQ settings and all that, because he knows that everybody in the world has Dave Pensado's settings, but everybody ain't got Dave Pensado's gigs. Why? Because it's not about the settings, He is hearing music, and all the top guys out there, they're hearing music as a whole that goes way beyond just what the settings are. And, anybody can give you exactly what they do. You'll never duplicate it. You don't have their life experience. You don't have their ears. You don't have the shape of your head. So many factors that come around. And for this guy to hold back like that and thinking that he's protecting his job and his place, it's just such an illusion, man. But a lot of people get caught up in it. A lot of people. So it's funny to me, man. All right, guys. Oh, well, Elon said he was gonna hook up his mic. Elon, we'll give you a couple of minutes to see if you can get hooked up, and if not, we'll go ahead and end this. Anybody else got anything they want to say? Any comments or anything additional?
Yeah, you guys know it. Remember Elon from his post in the group a while ago?
I remember his name. What was the post?
Well, he actually posted. It was quite an extraordinary story, to be honest. He posted a photo of himself with a sign, "Please take me as an intern."
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then the group responded, and
I remember that.
And I saw some pretty cool stuff in the comments, and saw some pretty cool people. So it was really inspiring, and everything was really humbling. It's just awesome, this community we have. So yeah,
That's good. That's good. I love it. Reaching out, asking for help is one of the best things you can do. I need to get better at that. I need help on some of the stuff that I'm doing, and, I try to do everything, and just push through it. But asking for help is one of the best things you could do. And a lot of people are willing.
Yeah, and it's just you said it. It's not the settings, You could it's more about the people.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people get caught up with that same conversation with the gear. Well, I can't tell you what gear I got. I got this special whiz bang. And then you know, that's the other funny part of that conversation. When there was a time when, and if Dave Hampton was on here, he'd tell you, because we used to, by Dave manufacturing stuff and working for manufacturers, we go to certain places and find people who had done stuff like, either they'd scrape off the names of the gear they were using, or put tape over it, or take the faceplate off and turn it inside out so you couldn't tell it what it was. But anybody that knew what it was knew what it was. And the bottom line is if, and many times I saw it happen. I never did it myself personally, but I have seen people do it because I wasn't technically advanced. But many people just simply open up your box and take a look and see what's going on. See if you got some mods, some special mods and stuff like that. So, this is how all these things, the thing that we take for granted right now, parallel compression. When I was coming up, there was a lot of people using it, but would not tell anybody they were using it, because they felt it gave them that little edge, and it did. But the thing is that parallel compression and some of that stuff, like I've mentioned in previous posts and everything, when I started doing research on it, I was like, well, Motown and all them really was kind of one of the first ones. I think they were the first one to actually use it. They called it something else, but then, other people was trying to figure out what the heck was they doing to get their sound so present and large and everything, and they took it over. And because Motown kept the whole secret for so long, nobody knew that it was really them that started the whole trend. And then somebody else gets it, and suddenly we got New York compression, British compression, and all these other things when it really came from somewhere else.
I just heard a mic from Benita. Can you talk? Say something, Benita.
Yeah, I don't know if it's working or not.
We hear. I hear
okay,
you.
We got you.
We hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, cool. I'm really
Welcome
happy to be here, and thank you for the.
Speak up a little bit though. You're a little low, man.
Yeah, we'll turn up the gain, but.
Just talking to the mic.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I don't know if... Okay, it's clipping now.
Sounds
cool.
good.
You're cool, man.
Yeah, so I just posted something on the forum on Facebook, something like to find an internship, and I get a lot of answers, and it was really cool, and a lot of support from everyone from the community. Yeah, cool.
Oh,
and I finally get an internship, but now I'm in trouble getting a visa to the US, but I hope finally it will work.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ilan. Is it pronounced Ilan?
Yeah, Ilan. So I'm
Ilan.
23 and I'm from Paris, France, and I'm currently studying and finishing my master's degree in audio engineering in France. And yeah, that's about it. And I'm playing bass.
Oh, good. Yeah, man. I'm glad people are responding and trying to help, and I'm very glad that you've gotten a chance to get on this hangout. What time is it there in France right now?
It's 11 p.m.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And you were on with us before, right? Weren't you on here once before?
No.
Or is this your first hangout with us?
I think it's the first time.
Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing your name, so it was probably in your
not
post.
online. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, make sure to join us, man. Like I said, we do these every Thursday and Sunday, so make sure to join us. You've got a wealth of information around here, people sharing, and that's going to be one of the best ways that's going to help you. What we are doing here is what we used to do in the hallways of the studios and in the kitchens and stuff like that. So, the world has shrunk now. You get to hang out with us, and you don't even have to go down the hallway.
That's right. Glad you can make it, Elon.
All right, guys. So I guess if that's about it, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Great hangout, guys. Great talk and discussion. And Anybody got any final things? If not, go ahead and kick it out, and y'all enjoy your day.
Always a pleasure, guys. See you later.
Great, man. Thank
Same
you.
here, man. Cheers, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Expecting ladies to be singing to you, Khaliq, because I got them training. Everybody that walks through the door, they sing to them.
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to get them to where they, they're gonna be coming up singing to you. So
all right, cool,
ready.
Cool, man. Good. Okay, well, good job, man, and we will see you guys on the next one.
All right, see you later.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everyone.